Do you know that Facebook has the most users? Like, Facebook has about 2.9 billion monthly users. Compared to Instagram, Instagram has probably a little over 2 billion, or maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of different statistics here. But it's so interesting to me because I did enter into an argument about these facts. Like, who uses Facebook? That's what I was saying. Like, who uses Facebook? Of course, Instagram has more users. But apparently, Facebook does. And that's just interesting. Apparently, I've said apparently 2 times now. But yeah, there's a high possibility that WhatsApp also probably has more users than Instagram. It's just quite interesting to me. I think I like Instagram. I don't really like Instagram, but I think it might be my preferred social media platform. Anyways, hi. Sorry, I didn't greet you. I just bombarded you with facts that you did not know. But now you know, and that's good. So you will not enter into arguments that you don't need to enter into, that you will lose. I just actually felt the pain of losing the argument. So yeah, I decided that I'm not going to do introductions anymore because I'm just bad at that. So hello, you already know who is talking. That's if you did not mistakenly click the wrong, what do you call it now? Wrong podcast. But even if you mistakenly clicked the wrong podcast, that's good because you are listening to my podcast now and you're going to keep on listening. That's if you've not stopped. Anyways, I'm cracking myself up so much today. So, hi. So today I don't actually have a topic I want to speak about, to be honest. I'm not like, oh, I planned this and I'm going to say this. But there are a couple of things that I have learned this past week. And I just want to share them because I just find them so profound. So incredibly profound. All right. So first things first. Do you know that this life is... What's that thing that people used to say? Like, there's nothing new under the sun. Literally. There's actually nothing new under the sun. And so, Ezinne Zara's book came out, I think, last week. I don't know. I was off social media for a bit, so I'm not very sure when it came out. But I read it recently, and I really... you probably don't know me, but I'm just like, I love Ezinne Zara. She's very plenty things to me. But anyways, there was a part of her book that she said something about life, and I'm just going to look for it and read it out so I don't say the wrong thing. So she wrote, "These are systems and ways of thinking that existed long before we did, and I have come to learn that shaking indignant, oh my god, indignant, oh Jesus, fists at them would not necessarily cause change. It is we who must evolve and discover a way of living that preserves our soul in the midst of the noise." And this part of the book was actually just so profound to me because I was thinking about the fact, like when I read this part, I was thinking about many things that, you know, we or I am not generally okay with regards to how society is, in a sense. Say, for example, how, oh my god, if I say this thing, I'm probably going to enter into a rant. But one of the things that is so weird to me, and I don't find, like, it's just weird to me generally with how people are or how society is how when you're planning for a wedding, or like when you're doing the whole wedding thingy, like it's always the woman, the bride, that is just so excited about everything. It's almost like the wedding day is for her. You will hear things like that. It's my wedding day. I just like a lot of, I don't know. There's just a lot of excitement that is felt only from the bride. and then you just have the groom there, like, bro, I'm just spending money. It's like, a lot of times it's almost like he would rather be doing many other things than spend his money on this wedding. And it's, I don't know, it's upsetting to me. Well, my friend said I should not, like, I don't know, it says it's a normal thing, men just don't get excited or stuff like that, but like, it still really bothers me. It bothers me because I think to myself, like, it's both of you's wedding day now. Abba, why are you sad? Anyways, yeah, that's one of the things that I just, to be honest, I'm not even sure that I can be okay with that ever, really. I think because like I've never been that woman that's dreamt of a wedding day. Oh, I want the size of ring. Oh, I want this dress. I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. Maybe because I don't like parties. I'm not a big fan of parties, yes, but I don't know. Somebody can argue that a wedding day is not just a party, but like for me, I've just never really seen the huge deal that I should not start dreaming from when I'm small about that particular day. I don't know. It's just a weird thing to dream about, to be honest. That's my point of view. No offense to everybody that dreams about their wedding day. You will have a great and beautiful wedding day. Sha. So that's one of the things that have just been before I was. And, she says, create systems for your life to work. And I'm just going to go back to the major theme before my entire gist. And I think that we would find that there are many things that have been before we were, and we can't exactly change it because we're really just one person in the entire grand scheme of things. But what we can do is to create a way for our lives to make sense with regards to all of that. So for example, we basically have to manage stuff in a way that works for us, if that makes sense. Just managing your time or your desires or your investments, really, in a way that, when I say investments, I don't mean money. I'm just like saying things that you invest your time or your resources or just anything, your emotions, anything in, really. So it's your responsibility to manage those things. It's your responsibility to manage your investments in a way that works for you. Yeah, and like that would help you to live the life that God would have you live. So for example, you cannot exactly change the fact that we have to work every day to make money. The truth is that even the Bible says if you don't work, you will not eat. You cannot exactly change the fact that you have to go to work every day or you have to do certain things. Say, for example, you work on the island and you live on the mainland. You can't exactly change the fact that you have to commute in the journey. You have to commute in traffic or stuff like that. You have to like do that entire thing every day. You can't exactly change that fact, except you just want to quit your job and be hungry, So you can't exactly change that fact. So for the time where you are in that space, it's your responsibility to manage your life. Let's not say your life because that sounds big, but it's your responsibility to manage your time. Yes, that's better. Manage your time in a way that would help you curate the life that you want, or like the life that God will have you live. So it's your responsibility to do things like that. So basically, I'm just saying, accepting the things you cannot change and just managing your time and life and everything around that. Yeah, so that's one of the things I learned this week. I'm going to hopefully I don't forget, but I'm going to plug the link to Eze Ezera's book right in my description box. I think, is that what they call it? I don't know. So you can read it. It's really good. The book is an encouragement of some sort, an encouragement to just let you know, oh, everything's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. You're going to turn out well by the grace of God. You're going to unravel beautifully. So yeah, Okay, oh yeah, there's something else I learned from the book before I go away from the book. There was something else I learned, and she said, and I read. So this is what I will say to you. Don't be afraid to slow down until these voices are silenced. I know that you don't want the world to hurry on and leave you behind, but this fear must die. After all, arrows are pulled back only to gain momentum and gather speed, then released to cut through the wind and hit its mark precisely. This example or illustration, in a sense, was just so profound to me, because I don't think I ever really thought about it that way. But in there are many of us that are usually afraid to take time out, to take a step back, to take a step back and just think, reflect, and just think about life and come back with a better view, or come back with with more peace. Many of us are afraid to take time out and just spend time with God, thinking and strategizing and stuff like that, because we feel like if we stop, the world is going to leave us behind. And the truth is that the world will never stop moving, and if you want to continue moving and moving and moving with the world without ever deciding to take a break or just stop, or take or breathe, we would end up being swallowed up by the chaos. And that's something that I think is just so profound. I will say that again, because we need to be encouraged to slow down. It's never a bad thing to take a break, to keep calm. The people that love you will stay or wait for you, or whatever it is that they need to do while you're taking your break. But it's just always important to go back to the drawing board, or just to go back and sit down with God and think about your life, or just go back and pray and have God let you know what and how should be done. And I think that that's something God also does. There are times where He will tell you to pause. There are times where He will tell you to wait. There are times where He will tell you to rest. And I think that it just goes to show how I don't think we were created to be in constant move. In that sense, I don't think we're created to constantly be rushing like the hustle culture of this world these days. I think we will always need that time of break, of rest, of silence. And so that's that about that. I'm going to plug the book. You should read it, and I hope it encourages you just as much as it did me. Something else I learned this week is I was listening to a podcast, and I'm going to plug it here too. So if you don't know, I'm actually an absolute podcast junkie. Apart from the fact that, maybe I should not call myself a podcast junkie, but I listen to a lot of I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but I listen to podcasts a lot. Yes. Oh my God, that's great. So I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, but I listen to podcasts a lot. So, and I'm just glad that the people that I love and I listen to, they always have new episodes for me, and I love it. So I was listening to a podcast episode last week or this week. Anyways, one of the weeks. And she was talking about I'm going to plug the podcast here too, so you can always listen to it. I love it. Just listen to podcasts. Enjoy your life. So the reason why I love podcasts, before I say what else, before I say what I learned, the reason why I love podcasts is just because of how handy they are. Okay, the word is not handy, but the fact that you can listen to podcasts while doing many things just makes me happy. It's not like a YouTube video that I have to sit down and watch, because I don't know, I'm busy in a sense, but so there are just a lot of things that I have to do with my hands. Say for example, I'm at work. My work is very brain unstimulating, but I don't use my brain at work. So I So I'm constantly on the move. I'm using my hands, my leg, everything, but I'm not using my brain. And so it's just always a great time to listen to podcasts and just listen to podcasts. So yeah, and so like there are many other things that you do probably when you're cooking or when you're taking a walk or when you're shopping. They're just like, I said shopping, like, sorry, it's not. You cannot be listening to podcasts in the market, but yeah, sorry, I'm talking about two different countries in this case. But yeah, when you're doing things that you can listen to stuff, I just think that podcasts are always a good idea, and that's why I really love them. But yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, one of the things I learned, she was talking about minimalism and how she thinks minimalism is going to save the world, and I just resonated with it so much because why will you have 50 shoes? I'm going to actually plug the podcast here, but like it was so hilarious. Like it was not so hilarious because like it was filled with a lot of lessons, but like there were certain things that just like were very funny, and it was it was refreshing, to hear that. But like the truth is, there are many things that we don't need. There are many things that we should actually consciously ask ourselves, do I really need to buy this thing? What do I need it for? What exactly does getting this extra thing change? That sort of thing. I just think that it's actually... I did learn a lot from that particular podcast because I was just like, truly... I think that many of us would feel better if we were not so conscious about money and about material things. I sent a newsletter about money some time ago, and I'm not going to say the backstory of that newsletter, but I did send a newsletter about it, and I truly strongly believe that many of us need to reduce the power that money and material things has over our lives and over our moods, over our emotions, over our whatever else. I think it's important because there are just many more things that are more important. Like Jesus literally said, what would you gain if you lost your soul and gain the whole world, or something like that? Like basically he was telling you that you have lost a lot if you sell your soul just for things. Like it doesn't even compare. The value is not the same thing. And what we don't realize is that these things have the power to make us sell our soul. Money is not bad in itself, but when you love money and you start to work for money instead of letting money work for you, you are gone. You're gone. And so it's a conscious thing that we must learn to do. Just arrange our hearts and our minds in a way that we recognize that money is a tool. Things are tools. Like, I'm not buying clothes to be able to show on Instagram that, I have a great closet. My closet is very full with clothes and everything. I'm buying clothes because I have places to go, and I have places to go and I want to wear the clothes. But in that sense, I won't be buying a cloth or something that I don't have anywhere to wear it to. And I'm actually shading myself because, there's absolutely no reason to buy a cloth that, as I'm buying it right now, right there, I cannot think of anywhere that I'm going that I will wear it. I don't know, it doesn't make much sense, to be honest, and you just end up having way too many things for your own good. And so it actually doesn't make any sense. So I don't know how to end that, but whatever it is I said, I'm going to put that particular podcast episode so you can listen to it, and just enjoy yourself as I enjoyed myself. As I enjoyed myself. So finally, one of the things, I had a particular experience last week that I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to like give any part of the experience really, because it's just a lot of gist. But one of the things I learned was that it's very, very important for me to forgive and actually let go. I won't say forget, because I'm still very in between concerning that. So like, I've heard people say, oh yes, you should forget. I've heard people say, you may not be able to forget. And there's just a lot of back and forth concerning that. So I'm kind of in the middle. But I said let go because I think that's a better word. And I think let go is you releasing, the pain that you felt. So there's a way that we can feel pain and hold on to that pain so much so that we are blind to many other things. And so I think when we forgive, it's always important to let go. I've forgiven you. Whatever action it is, like whatever else it is that I'm going to do with regards to that. Like, so for example, people will tell you can forgive, but you don't exactly need to let them into your life and stuff like that. So just a lot of things. So if there are certain actions that I want to take after forgiving, yeah, probably that's if they are wise actions and there are things that you think are necessary, because many of us just be cutting people off for absolutely no reason because we are best in scissors. But yeah, if you have certain wise actions that you want to take, fine. But the idea of letting go is just coming to a point of releasing the pain that you have felt, the hurt you felt, and just forgiving and letting go. So you can forgive someone. I don't know if you can, actually, to be honest. I don't know if you can forgive someone and then still hold on to the hurts. I'm not very sure you can, but I feel like it's possible. So yeah, I just think like one of the things I learned was I should like make a more conscious effort of letting stuff go, and I think it would help us feel better after fights or after certain things that happen that hurt you, because things would always happen like that. It's just normal, you get, and we cannot afford to hold everything to our chest, yeah, exactly. You can't afford to hold everything to your chest, because that's the root cause of bitterness. And do you know that? I'm not very sure, to be honest. Let it not be like I'm saying facts. I don't know, but I've heard it before that bitterness causes cancer. So let's go. Anyways, it was nice speaking to you again. Please share this podcast. Like, okay, I don't know if you can like on podcast. Can you like on? I don't know. Anyways, whatever it is that you can do on podcast, please do it. Also send me, comments on how this episode was and all of that. I'm currently, I don't want to make this episode longer than it needs to be, but I'm just like currently in the space of thinking of how to do things better and just trying to improve in generally. And yeah, so it would really help to receive your feedback and receive your comments, because it will help me just do things better, So yeah, thank you very much. I hope you have a great week from whatever time you are listening to this. And if it's weekend that is ahead of you, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have a great month and a great life and a great last quarter of the year. Yeah, I don't know when this episode will come out, but we just entered the last quarter of the year in real time, and that's great. So I hope you have a great last quarter of the year and everything. I would speak to you in the next episode. Toodles.